And Honorable Speaker, I listened with my third ear. And one thing as a student of history and government and also a student of Ruto Vandaba on speech, I was happy that the president was very confident and he actually gave hope to the Kenyans. He was also very clear in his mind to say what was truthful, what could be done, and what could not be done. And that's what this country possibly needs, because we cannot afford to live a lie. And that is the general outlook of what I saw in the speech. And what the Kenyans really need now is hope, because he was able to explain where we were, where we are headed to, and where we intend to go to. Honorable Speaker, there are three remarkable things I will highlight which were spoken on. Number one, the president was able to speak on the issue of education. And on education, he explained an array of reforms that he has brought to bear to try and improve the education system. And I must begin by thanking the president, because I've been in the education system for a long time, Honorable Speaker. And I know that employment of teachers has been and is still one of the biggest challenges that we do face. And that even in previously would only employ 5,000 teachers every year, and in 5 years would employ about 25,000. But it's remarkable to actually indicate that within his reign, in 1 year's time, he has been able to employ 55,000 teachers. And that's actually remarkable. I know they are not enough, but I must begin by congratulating for that, because I've been around and I know what happens. He forgot to indicate that also in terms of promotions, we have been having a lot of stagnation of the teachers. And I will be asking this parliament, when the supplementary budget comes, to actually vie money for promotion of teachers. But he forgot to say that within the period in which he has operated, we have had a promotion of 14,000 teachers in the first phase, 6,000 teachers, and now 36,000 teachers who have been advertised. I would be glad to actually indicate and report to the president that of the 55,000 teachers who he employed, and we thank him for that, most of them were interns. And now they're the ones who are in the JSS, and they're now looking forward to becoming PNP, permanent and pensionable. Honorable Speaker, I was in Bomet over the weekend, and most of them are crying out that after the 1-year internship program, they should be confirmed as PNP. I'll be asking this House to support the president by actually vying money to make all those intern teachers who are in our JSS and other parts of the schools to become PNP. Honorable Speaker, the next thing I want to speak on, which came out very clearly in the president's address, was the issue of the economy. And here he was very, very firm and clear. And the issue of cost of living as an agenda in the bipartisan talks needs to be given more time, the way the mover of this motion did indicate. And it needs to have everybody look in each other's eye. I was very proud when I heard the leader of majority use that phrase, because back at home, that's my slogan. And in my language, it's called Menga Money. Look in my eyes. Because unless we deal with that very seriously, then we can easily lie to ourselves. That he was very clear to indicate that the borrowing had reached its maximum, and it was not possible for us to borrow anymore. And you are aware as a House that even we had been downgraded in terms of our ability to borrow in the grading system of borrowing around the world. And now it's very important that we tighten our belts and actually live within our means. And if we continued with the borrowing, we shall actually collapse. He was also very bold to indicate that for the first time now, we want to face the challenge that we have always feared for the longest time, and that is the Eurobond. That we want to tackle it so that it may give confidence to the international markets to actually invest in us, because most of what the countries are doing is to default. And the repercussions of defaulting are usually very severe, and they don't last 1 month, neither 1 year. They last an array of years, because you lose the confidence in your currency, and it's usually very terrible. So in the interest of time, I think I'll have to stop there. I'm unable to speak on agriculture, which I think is the most important thing, because productivity must be encouraged and not consumption. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Zamzam Chimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nikiweza kuchangia katika hotuba aliyotoa Rais